Hello, 'tis I, the Wildernerd, and I've come to talk about my favorite book. Just theories, headcanons, whatever, yada yada yada, whatever floats your boat. You will see my OCs during this video, and they will not hurt you. Do not worry. First off, concerning the characters' names, I'm just going to pronounce them all, just so that you all know how to pronounce them. No worries, I also pronounce them wrong as well. Okay, so first, Barkley, not Barclay. Viola, like the musical instrument. Tig, not tag. Tad, do not worry. That one tripped me up a lot. Cecily. These are all just going to be the ones that I struggled with, so not the obvious ones. And then Cyril, not Cyril. And that's basically it. So now on to the theories and headcanons. Quite a lot. The most popular one I've seen, I think, is that Adrian caused the blight that killed Yesh's town. Now, I think this one is probably going to be canon, because it makes sense that he would go to the tundra, like a place that's kind of remote and small, and he'd go out into a place, and obviously the Wilderland's off balance, so he's going to test his wild lore, and he goes out and he thinks he's remote, so he's like, oh yeah, wild lore, yeah. A town dies. Woo! Yikes. He sees a small child and goes, dodged a bullet there. This guy's going to come with me. So then, those two become a team. What other ones are there? I think I've seen a few popular ones. A recent one I've seen was that Quist was Runa's dad. I don't know, it might be very absent. Maybe Runa never mentioned her dad. I don't know, maybe he died out in some awful way, I'm sorry. I couldn't take it when they said one member of her family was hit by an anvil. If you die that way, I have the right to laugh in the least. Cartoon death, Looney Tunes over here. I don't know, I used to believe for like a hot minute that Quist might be your dad. How would he know so much about the Baldersons? How would he know? And he wrote the comics and all that stuff. And then I realized, well, they already state in the books that he's an uncle, so I have a feeling he doesn't have kids of his own. With a passion like that, I don't think he would have kids. I don't think anybody was going to settle down with him. No offense, he was really cool, but, he kind of wears people repellent. I hate to break it to you. He's drawn a line a little there. Now with my trusty journal of eternal knowledge, you see I'm a real mythological figure here. I've written down some of my predictions. Raj Navar's a crocodile. That one's a headcanon. I just feel like a long mouth full of sharp teeth gives off the, reptilian resident of the rainforest kind of vibe that we're going for. It'd be really funny if this kind of stereotypically scary and powerful, kind of seen as evil creature would be born to, the nicest, sweetest, most care-able person in the Wilderlands. I just makes sense a lot, doesn't it? Bring back Fen. That guy was cool. Barkley will help Hasu maintain the Wilderland. I'm reading this as if I'm a toddler. Wow. Because he has wild lore, and because Hasu is a legendary beast, maybe they'll team up together and, maintain the Wilderland. Don't know how they would do that, but I just feel like he has this, it's kind of a sixth sense to him. Whoa, I'm just figuring this out. This is like a reawakening. Tasu, if it does not become canon, I will throw this book, because how will it not become canon? How? You know, I just know. I'm a future teller. Believe me, I gaze into my crystal orb regularly, and I see the very many downfalls of our demise. That was an All of Our Demise reference, if you get it. Kudos to you. Tig manipulates the rain in some sort of way. Yet again on Tasu, he makes an umbrella. Alright, he makes an umbrella. Just calling it. Audrey and Yasha meet Soren. Miss Amanda Foodie did say that they would make some new friends, and I'm betting it's Soren. I'm betting it's Soren, because they're going to break into Rathengate and then just, hey, you're coming with us. You hate Barkley. I think he should be on our team, but, you have a kind of reputation for violence and manipulation, so you're definitely coming with us. I know this one isn't canon, but I just have the feeling that Soren's a cannibal. It just seems right. I mean, he cuts off people's arms and their limbs. I just feel like you're gonna find him out in the forest on a foggy morning, seeing him, mauling the corpse of someone. Does anybody disagree? I don't hear a no, so yes for me. I wonder what character is bonding to a new beast, and what beast they're bonding to. I assume it'll be Barkley, Yasha, or maybe Adrian will overload himself on beasts. My writing is immaculate, as you can tell. I have a feeling it's Barkley who's getting the new beast. Don't know what it would be. I think Viola and Tig already have enough beasts. Maybe it's Yasha. I'm pronouncing his name differently every single time. Surprised he didn't make it to the introduction, but we can all agree that his name should remain anonymous. I don't know how to grammar correctly. By the way, that was a joke. Please don't take that as me having poor grammar. I know people will attack me for that. Please don't judge me. I'm going crazy waiting for this book. Wise words. Because the book is called Trader's Gambit, and gambit is a term referencing to someone who's playing chess, sacrificing their pawn. I assume that Adrian is using Yasha as a pawn to get to Barkley. Okay, if the entire Wildernlands depended on a game of chess, and it was Barkley against Adrian for obvious reasons, that kid would be in trouble. I know he's winning in the first half, and all they have done is capture Soren, but Adrian's capturing all the others pretty fast, I bet. He's gonna be taking all them out, and then me. Here I have Barkley in my grasp. Look at him. Under my control. Hee. I'm evil. I'm so evil. Look at me, I'm being stereotypically evil. Ha ha ha. Laughing in the moonlight. Ha 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 ha. My impressions are far beyond amazing. You see, they're immaculate. What else do I have here? What monster is Barkley hiding from, as from the teaser? What is happening? I assume the monster refers to one of the beasts, and they're just doing that to keep our interest and say, oh, he was a monster, but he's chill. Probably Marmar. I have a feeling it's gonna be Marmar. Just seems right. Who is Tig telling Marmar not to eat? Continuing on, probably Barkley. Why is Runa pinning Cyril to the ground? Yeah, what's up with that? I'm a little more than curious. I'm gonna assume it's for guardian training. When does Barkley meet Adrian? Maybe it'll go like the last book and we meet him, then we meet him again, and then the next is the final thing where we don't speak to him, but he's there. That sort of thing. I hope we get to talk to him more. He's my favorite character. He's just the best. In real life, I would be running. But honestly, far more preferable than Leopold. That guy can break his spine. Again, I hope he dies this time. He's such an awful person. I really hope he dies. I'm sorry, Viola, but your dad sucks. And, don't put him in the hospital. Don't put him in a hospital. Don't put any stress on Rakova. She doesn't need it. Just let her chill for one day, okay? Your dad is not going to heaven, but it'll be alright for you. Will Adrian sacrifice Yasha for something? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Yasha, run. He is not your dad. He doesn't care for you. Trust me. Go find people who care for you. I literally just said his name again. Oh my gosh, I'm fumbling. Go find Barkley. He will help you. Follow your gut. And I don't think he has one. I just repeat the same thing I already said here. I have a poster idea. It's just of Adrian's hand holding Yasha's a chess piece, capturing Barkley. Genius in my work. I'm not the only Razlo fan. Yeah, some people make it very apparent that they don't like that one. But, here I am holding strong. Like one of the 3 people out of the 20 people who enjoy this book. There's none of us. Check back every day. Nobody. Things are sad. Well, I ask everybody if they read the book, and they're like, oh yeah, we read the book, but only the first one. And then their favorite character is always Viola. And it's always their mom that made them read it. Oh, the song Wolf House by Rabbitology kind of reminds me of how Tig would protect Barkley if anything happened to him. There's a few other songs that fit the characters, but I'm not going to go into that because I will talk, and it will last a long time. But there's a cool song called Tough Kids by Coyote Kid, and I think that pretty much fits his days as an apprentice from his perspective. And I thought of this really cool animatic in my head, like I've been doing for a while. I've been mastering that technique since I was 10 some. And just imagine, all the characters are represented as animals, or as their beast. So we first got Adrian in the lyric, 1 second, I need to get these lyrics. I need to be precise and utterly honest, and I don't want to ruin anything because I am a precise prism of intellectual... Of course I don't have the lyrics on Spotify. Life really throws itself in my... Not taught. Trying to speak from one end and then getting the lyrics on next. I'm just going to pause this. So I got the lyrics. And so, on the verse, I don't trust anyone more than I trust me and mine. Just a shot of Adrian. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Imagine Adrian as the... Just forgot what was it called? Tyrannus? Pretty sure it's called Tyrannus. I just forgot. I'm a nerd, but I forgot. His Tyrannus. And here he is, just standing there. Dog-eat-dog world. Runa, as a Dulcurus, comes and bites him. But this pack runs till the end of the line. Just imagine Cyril as a Xylovis running in and chasing her off the edge. We were forged in the furnace of dark days and the cruel... No, not an ad. Go away. Go away! Go! We were forged in the furnace of dark days in the cruelest ways. Leopold just arises from the ground, like as a dragon. He bites down on Cyril and, like, tears him. Okay, I know this is pretty morbid, but just imagine him ripping out his bones and organs, like in a very violent way, dragon sheep. I noticed that connection, like, yesterday. But our blood-bound burden don't break. So this is more of a visual one. Just imagine as Cyril's blood falls down from his mouth, like, drops into, like, the silhouette of the three of them. And then, they clear up, and, evil eye opening, very intimidating eye opening with beat drop. So imagine, like, the wolf walker eye open, like that bomb sound effect when they open their eyes. Speaking of wolf walkers, so we know Barkley kind of reminds me of that movie, and it's been said a few times. And then Song of the Sea fits Ty. I don't think this is a coincidence. This makes sense, okay? I'm on it. I'm onto something here. You can't deny it. And yes, Wolf King does give off Wildernerd vibes, and if it was animated into a show, I would want it in that art style. That exact one. It's just perfect. It's so beautiful. I just lost track of words. Gonna check my journal. I don't think I have much more to talk about. Fun news. I started my first ever fan fiction. Well, it's not my first ever. Actually, I helped write one about Gumball getting chased down an alleyway by wild rats and then dismembered violently and cracked like a glow stick, which I hope happens to Leopold. Crack him like a glow stick. That light lore. Light up the world. The darkest times. Does he bleed light? These are questions will only be answered if Adrian takes out the hammer and pulls to that spine, Do your thing, man. Speaking of that fan fiction, here it is. It is a mermaid alternate universe where, all the characters are mermaids, and just read it and you'll find out. And Barkley turns into a siren. It feels kind of strange for me to be using all of the characters' names, because I'm just like, oh, but this character's not a mermaid. I'm making progress. Much better than my OC writing. As much as I'd like to talk about that, it's not really the time. But anyway, I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's nice. I use the word of the day, if you can find it. Good on you. Hint, it's on the screen. Oh, and there it goes. Wow. I'm betrayed by my own timing. But you can look at bird people, if that makes you feel any better. I'm running out of words to say. I feel like I had so much to say, and then I just instantly forgot it. Maybe I'll come back. My reckoning. Me, B-Nerd, and I'm gonna Wildernerd all over you until you finally come sense with all these books. I've read them so many times. I would just for a period of time, I would just open up the book. Not open it up. I just take out the book from its bookshelf, its rightful place on the favorite shelf. And I just stare at the cover. Specifically Night Compass. People hate that book because they say it's out of character. Personally, it was more violent. It kind of did feel out of character because the other books were way more friendly. And this one did kind of feel strange because they kind of jumped into violence. Okay, they say Adrian killed Quist, but they also kind of hint that Quist did kill himself. So, that was kind of a dark turn for the series. And also, there was like a lot more violence, especially with Yasha burning off Tig's back, and then Yasha ending up burning himself whenever he lore surges. And speaking of lore surging, which like damages a person so violently, speaking of which, I saw a headcanon that lore surging will damage you internally. And now I think of it as like when Cyril rebuilt the guild house, and like I imagine Quist are like, oh, whatever can we do for you? And then Cyril starts vomiting all over the place. I'm sorry, it's a really funny visual. I like when he suffers. Back to the book being horrific and traumatizing and gut clenching, though despite being a single raindrop compared to the monsoon that is Wings of Fire. Yeah, that book was kind of dark. I'm running out of time. Well, shucks, be me.